Good morning, Moreh v'Avotai B'ezras Hashem Mincha. Today is going to be 7 p.m. 6 o'clock is going to be the early minyan. The learning today is for Refuah Shlema Tamara Bat Osnat, sponsored by the Yegudayev family. Further sponsorships, please contact Rabbi Babayev. As the halacha we were discussing yesterday, if a goy on his own comes to extinguish a fire, and we're talking about a fire that's not life-threatening. Again, I just want to make that clear. We're discussing non-life-threatening fires. A goy comes to extinguish a fire on his own, and it's going to be for the benefit of the Jew. The Gemara says, "En nimchot be'ado." You don't have to protest. You don't have to tell him to stop. He did it on his own. I didn't command him to do it. However, if a child, a Jewish child, comes to extinguish a fire on his own, mohin be'ado, you have to protest, and you have to stop him from doing it. And from this halacha, you see, what's the reason for this halacha? A child, in terms of, it's nothing to do with chinuch. It does nothing to do with the age of, he knows what Shabbat is and he's supposed to keep Shabbat. It has nothing to do with that. He's not allowed to do work for a person who is an adult. And since a child doesn't have dot, he doesn't have the intellect, of course he's doing it on the consent of either his father or a different adult. And therefore it is asur, even if he's 2 years old, even if he's 1 year old, even if, certainly if he's 5 or 6, it would be asur for such a child to extinguish a fire, because it is viewed as an action that is on behalf of Am Yisrael, of the adults. And since the Torah says that everybody has to keep Shabbat, including the child cannot do melacha for you, therefore that would be asur. From here we see the importance and the value that what a goy would be allowed to do, a child is not allowed to do. Sometimes you have a mentality, it's backwards. People think, okay, I'm not allowed to do this, I'm going to tell the child to do it. You don't realize when you tell the child to do something, it could be a Torah violation. And if you would have told a goy, it would have been a rabbinic violation. Maybe they're both violations, but certainly a child is never going to be more mutar than it would be mutar to tell a goy. And therefore it's important to keep in mind that whatever halachot is asur, we're not allowed to tell or show or indicate that we're happy with a child doing melacha for us. If the child is under the age of chinuch and he does for himself, that's one thing. But if he's doing it for you, then that's going to be a problem. A lot of times there's a light on, a light off, and you tell the child, I'll give you candy if you do this. That is totally asur to be done on Shabbat, and it could even be a Torah violation of getting the child to do something on your behalf. So this is where you learn this very, very important halacha. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen ve'amen.